Finish strong. Community is what makes it happen. I want to share three reflections with you that will definitely help you in your journey, especially as a healer in that early phase. A lot of times we have had these dreams, these visions when we were students, when we were in that initial phase of not just working on our own healing, but we had these little whispers of what our future was going to look like. Maybe we were looking at our mentors and saying, this is what I get to do one day. And so when you start to make those moves, when you start to not just set that intention, but actually do the work, as I said, I want to share three reflections with you that will help you on that journey. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. As promised, three reflections that will help you on your journey, especially when you start to ramp up in what you're doing. And the intention, of course, is to be able to finish strong. The first reflection, of course, is remember to take a breath. Today was one of those days where, as I'm starting to get ready, tomorrow I will be on the road and heading to Goa, where we will be doing our second, what are we now? Our first retreat, in fact, our first retreat for this year, and officially to roll it out in Goa. But in all of this, there's been so much of behind the scenes work, a lot of coordination, a lot of conversations, a lot of energy. And so I found myself for a moment needing to and telling myself to take a breath. And so by the time the evening had rolled in and rolled out, that's when I said, you know what? I really am going to take a breath. So I lay down for a couple of minutes. And in that moment, as I was just letting myself drift off into a light sleep, um, it reminded me that, this is something that very often we don't do. Either we are so excited that we sort of go full tilt, and of course, maybe we burn out, or we forget, and then later, it feels we sort of like we grudge ourselves for having done the work because it just feels unbalanced. So, in simple terms, all I'm saying is remember to take a breath. The second thing and the second reflection, of course, is once you've taken that breath, also use that time to take a moment. For me, as I awoke, I could feel that refreshment. I could feel refreshed, and so I downed a beautiful black, cup of black coffee after my dinner, and I was really reflecting on the journey so far, these last several days, these last several weeks, how beautifully everything is coming together. People are aligning themselves. People are, as they say, girding up, which means they're like getting ready to be fully present in the retreat. And all of this was me just kind of reflecting on the journey so far and how we got here. In fact, for a moment, I thought we had already finished um, our first retreat for the year. It was meant to happen in, or let's say we had planned for it to happen in March. But these thoughts that we have are beautiful because they have a funny way of coming around full circle sooner or later. So the idea, of course, was that, as I was reflecting on the year so far, and here we are at the middle of the year, now getting ready to connect, to commune, and to have a beautiful time together. It just reminded me that it's so important to pause and take it all in, because this is what makes the journey so much of fun. Plus, we get to meet, we get to, form and forge deeper and deeper bonds. And then, of course, that brings me to the third reflection for today, which is really to lean in and accept the love. Because we are doing all of this work, but sometimes we forget to lean in, or when we lean in, sometimes we forget to accept the love that is being sent our way, especially as healers, because maybe that's part of our upbringing where we find it hard to accept love, or sometimes we're just looking for it, but then when it comes to us, we kind of push it away. So, as I said, lean in and accept the love. As always, these pods are made keeping you in mind as a healer, especially in that early stage of your journey, because uh, one of the main secret ingredients, one of the main powerful ingredients in you being able to do the work that you want to do is, of course, to build your own community. And so, when you make it a point to have a community that's here to support you, remember to lean in and accept the love that you receive from them. I make it a point on a daily basis to remind myself and, of course, to act on this awareness. And it's always a pleasure to be amongst people that acknowledge you and that value what you bring into their lives as much as what they bring into your life. So, as always, as I said, these pods are made for you. And if you're not already part of a community, come and be part of our community, our Hypnosis Life, because you will see that there's a lot of magic that happens here. And more importantly, you have that system, you have loving people who are here to support you every step of your journey and every step of the way. As always, truly appreciate you. And having said all of that, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, we'll be back with many, many more. And in the coming days, of course, the background will probably change because we will be in Goa for the next couple of days. So it'll be interesting to see how our studio evolves. Um, but until then, see you. God bless. And of course, I'll be back in the next one. As is our norm, I do record this live, so I see that the chat has been going off, as they say, off the hook. So there's been a lot of back and forth chitter chatter amongst some of our community members. I see there's Raji who popped in. There's Devasmita. So good to have you all here. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing time, beautiful time of the year. A great way to connect, great way to set new intentions, and of course to get ready for what lies ahead of us. So, having said all of that, of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. God bless. Of course, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.